Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Locker Room Special Edition. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you and your loved ones. We have a nice show for you today. A little bit of college football. We're going to sprinkle that thing in there like Salt Bae. We're going to subscribe. What are we going to do after that, folks? Say it together. 1, 2, 3. Comment. That's what we're going to do. Hopefully you guys that watch in your keyboard watch that. And then obviously right here, if you're Jewish, you celebrate something different. Happy whatever that is. But for me, Merry Christmas. Also, fan call-in parlay. A lot of people in the Call of Shame. But our boy right here, Q-Tip, what's his name? Josh! Shout out Josh in the Call of Fame. Probably shouldn't have hit it that hard. We have a great episode for you guys today. Merry Christmas. Big hugs, tiny kisses. Let's have one.
Welcome to the Locker Room. We are presented by Fireball Whiskey. So many things make football great, but you know what the best thing is? Kicking the living shit out of your rival, and there's absolutely no better feeling as an athlete or fan, and Fireball Whiskey is here to give you the spark to ignite that rivalry all season long. Grab your football buddy, buy a round, and reignite the rivalry flame. Fellas, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to all of you. You Christmas guy?
Hanukkah guy.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
When does that start? That's probably already
Started already. You
Yeah?
get a gift every day.
So you've been getting gifts every day.
Something like that.
What'd you get?
Yeah, what have you got?
A son. That's what I got.
You got a son?
gift. Yeah, my baby son.
But did he get you anything?
Love.
Did your girl get you anything?
Yeah, what did you?
Nah, they don't give me anything.
You don't get anything
I get
for
everybody
for
stuff,
Hanukkah?
man. No, I get it. You know, Christmas is every day. Hanukkah's
Are
every day.
you a big
for me.
gift giver?
Yeah. Yeah. Ask my guys. Yeah.
No
ask my
shit.
guys.
That's
Yeah. You know.
Boys in the back getting some presents.
We got a little white elephant.
I didn't.
Little white elephant tonight that I am excited
Where at?
for. Taylor's house.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what's up. I didn't.
Which, by the way,
yeah,
I need
right.
to. I don't know why I don't invite you to things.
No, that's all right.
No. But seriously, I don't know why I don't do that.
What?
I should have invited you.
You should have, but it's all right.
Yeah.
You know,
Do you want to come?
You're
No.
handling it well.
It's a full part
My girl family is out right here. They here, so.
That's my one. Hey, add that to my New Year's resolution is inviting Delanie to more things. Because
said
for real,
that,
bro,
like they're
we were going
keeping a
over Beer
list.
Olympics. We're like, who are we gonna get? And then someone was like, what about Delanie? I'm like, yeah. What the fuck are we doing? It's like you're the homie, but then we just think the homie's always gonna be there.
For the Bear Olympics?
Yes.
Oh yeah. I didn't even think I was competing. I'm like chilling. Y'all like,
No, you're in there.
you good? I'm like, oh shit.
Have you heard the rumors about Beer Olympics?
No.
They're saying the last one ever might happen in 2025.
Why?
Just as they're
It's
saying.
just what people are saying behind the scenes.
People are talking. There's clamoring going around. Whispers.
No
whispers.
sponsors?
Whispers.
No, not that. I think it's more of the just getting old, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Will's gonna be, what,
I ain't
36
gonna
next
lie.
year?
That was I was toe up.
How many days did it take you to recover?
I was hurt. My girl ain't never seen me like that before, bro. I threw up a gang of times. Y'all just didn't know.
Yeah. Oh, during.
Yeah. Oh,
When
yeah.
you were there?
Oh, yeah. I
Just
cheated.
snuck off to the
That's on
side.
the boys in the back,
cheated.
man. You guys
I
got to catch
cheated.
that.
I
Delanie's
cheated.
puking.
Hey,
You got
I
to get him.
cheated. I was cheating, cuz I could not hold it.
Dude, I didn't throw up at all. But the last year, I felt more drunk this year, but I threw up more last year.
Really?
Yes. It was a weird deal.
I haven't thrown up yet.
I
I
had
know
to,
I was.
2 years
I
ago,
was
you were throwing
whisked.
up everywhere. Nick Bennett had to save you.
Oh, you're right. I was.
Yeah, you were
throwing
like
up.
stumped over in the
over
corner.
in your
They had
little
to-
moat.
They had to
like
peel
your
you
little
off.
garden.
Yeah, that little turf area. Originally, my wife was like, "We should make that into a little play area for the kids." I'm like, "Yeah, it's really just a place for the dogs to shit now." I gotta
And me
figure
to
that
throw
area
up.
out. Yeah, and
yeah.
for Will to throw up.
I went up in this where he got like the little planeries up on the hill right there.
Yeah.
Oh, I bent off
You
it.
took a little hike.
I took a hike because I'm like, if they see me, I'm disqualified.
That's an
so
orchard.
I was talking
went
to
my
my-
orchard and did it.
Hey,
Disqualified.
I was talking to myself. I was over there on my knees in
Yeah.
the dirt, paying to
Bro.
the dirt god. I'm like, oh my God. I'm not
Yeah,
doing
man.
this no more.
I'm so sorry for not inviting you to that Christmas party.
Oh, it's all right, man.
No, but hey, I feel bad.
Yeah, I got a lot of stuff going on. Don't worry about it.
Merry Christmas.
Merry-
Football.
Happy
Hey,
Hanukkah.
how
Happy
about the
Hanukkah.
fucking Bucks shitting down their leg last night against
It's
Dallas?
just crazy. And
By
you
the way, we did hit our We'll get to that. Well, we did hit our.
I got excited for a second. Hey, should we just do it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Boys, took us 16 weeks, but we finally hit.
Remove
the
that
Bet
tab.
the Boys. You ready to go?
Move that
I think you
tab.
just got to twist it. You just got to twist it. It's ready to go. We finally hit the Bet the Boys parlay. 1, 2, 3! Yes!
I ain't gotta do nothing. Thank God.
Oh, thank God, dude.
Thank God.
Thank
Hey,
God.
I was a little wrecked. I ain't even gonna lie. I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna go to the Super Bowl with blonde eyebrows and no beard.
You would have looked scary.
I would have looked.
You would have found a way to do something with it, though.
When we just had
don't
Bucky.
know.
You would have found a way. Hey, if I know Delanie Walker, he always finds a
Glasses,
way.
Huge ones.
Big glasses, covering the
Cover
brows
the
up.
brows.
When we just had Bucky Irving left, I felt so good.
Me too.
I
Me
was-
too.
The thing that scared me,
so good.
because you took Bucky Irving, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my whole thing about not taking Bucky was he does split time, so you're not only playing against a back that does every single snap, you're also doing two guys that are split, like who's going to get the ball when and where.
But he's become the workhorse, bro.
Yeah,
He scored early,
trust
though.
me. And when it
Bucky
hit, I was
scored early.
Yeah.
so
He
happy.
scored early.
Running through people.
Through him.
Man,
He's good, man.
yeah, not good enough to beat the Cowboys apparently. I feel like, did you see McCarthy? Did you see his facial expression when the clock went to 0?
Mm-mm.
It seemed like there looked like a feeling of weight off his shoulders, as if maybe his job was on the line for that game.
He getting fired, so.
I think he's still getting fired,
still
but
I
like,
think so too.
Yeah.
but also the Cowboys historically just hold on to their
They
trash
do.
for a while.
They do. They do.
Unlike the
Rush
Panthers.
has made it happen.
Panthers probably fired 3 guys before week 3.
Well, you still got an old school owner that believes in giving coaches time to build. And
Yeah.
these new owners
Yeah.
are like,
We
1
want it
year,
now.
if you're not winning, you're gone. Sorry.
And I feel like the new owners, they have their ear to the floor a little bit more on
They
X.
do. They
And
do.
so they're listening a
They
little bit more. What are the
listening.
fans saying?
Yep.
Fans are pissed off and they kind of
Yeah.
easily
They
more easily
panic.
influenced.
Yeah, they be panicking.
Especially when you get the teams of people. But Christmas, Wednesday on Netflix, right? Streamed on Netflix.
Yeah.
Shout out
it's on
Netflix.
Netflix
Redemption.
getting another opportunity.
Another op. They have an opportunity with Kansas City Chiefs at Pittsburgh. Chiefs are favored by 2.5. The total points in that game is 43.5. We're going to start with the Kansas City Chiefs' number 1 enemy, Will Compton. How do you feel, babe?
I like the Chiefs.
Okay.
I like the Chiefs. But if Pickens comes back, I want it on record. If Pickens is playing Wednesday, I want the Steelers. But if he's not, I want the Chiefs.
Okay.
I think the Chiefs play too well defensively.
Yep.
I feel like the Steelers really shit down their leg with executing offensively against the Ravens. And again, it's late in the year. This is where the Chiefs start being the Chiefs.
Yep.
But right now, with Pickens out and questionable, I like the Chiefs.
Yeah. I'm with you on I like the Chiefs. When you watch the Chiefs and the Texans play, there was early in the game, there was a 3rd and short that got stuffed. They gave it to Pacheco. There was a 4th and 1 right after that got stuffed. They gave it to Pacheco. I don't know why you're not giving it to Kareem Hunt in that situation, or do the Chiefs' way of kind of just giving a nice little toss out to Kelsey, something like that. That's usually what they do in those really close yardage situations. You fast forward to the end of the game, there's 4 minutes on the clock, and they are in 4 minutes. A team that is not usually known as a physical beat-em-down team, they go in their Chiefs' way, and they finish the game with the ball in their hands. That's the kind of championship mentality they got to have. Obviously, we'll get to the Texans in a little bit. I feel terrible for Tank Dell. That injury is awful.
Yeah,
all that
terrible.
stuff. They kind of stalled out right after that happened. They had one drive where they moved the ball down the field, but really you could see. I mean, C.J. Stroud was upset, emotional to the point of tears, and then the Chiefs played a full 4 quarters of good football. And Spags. Right now, he's the MVP of the Kansas City Chiefs. He's a big reason why they have a huge opportunity to 3-peat, and the record is the way it is. I'm taking the Chiefs 2.5.
What they got to be careful about, though, the Texans, I think, got to Mahomes like 22 different times, and the Texans aren't even close to what the Steelers have. Yeah, on the defensive front. I feel like that's going to be an X factor too. Shout out the boy Mitch with his data here. The Steelers defense sits 5th in pass rush win rate and leads the NFL in turnovers forced per game.
Yeah.
I think that'll be an X factor. And again, if Pickens plays, I do like the Steelers here because it is in Pittsburgh, short week. They're coming off a very bad loss where they have to ultimately, have a little bit of a gut check mentality on getting back on track.
Quick turnaround.
Yeah,
Quick turnaround. I mean, Highsmith, Watt, Hayward, those guys in the middle, I mean, they do a phenomenal job of rushing the passer and stopping the run. What I do like about the Chiefs is when you watch that game in full and you hear how many names the announcers are saying as far as receivers getting the ball. I mean, you got DeAndre Hopkins, Xavier Worthy, Travis Kelce, and then after coming back from a clavicle injury, Hollywood Brown. He only had 6 catches for 46 yards, but Mahomes is really going to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, we had a big issue with, I believe it was oil cans was your reference of receivers not being able to catch the ball. Yeah. Now you feel like their time of possession, the way they're handling the ball, they're moving it up and down the field, whether it's 3 or they're 6, they're leaning on that defense quite a bit. I still think the Chiefs handle business here.
Steelers.
Yeah, I'm a
Steelers. Just lock me in with the Steelers.
Pickens or no Pickens?
Pickens,
Doesn't
no
matter.
Pickens. I think Pickens is going to play.
I think just like
big gut check.
We don't
big
say locks.
Check.
We don't do guarantees. We're like lawyers here. We don't do guarantees. But that's as strong as it gets when Will Compton does something like that.
People talking about Tomlin,
Dog.
underdog at home.
Yeah, they
Underdog at home.
61,
Yeah.
85% against the spreads in 7 games at home. I'm taking the Steelers. I do want Pickens to play. I think when he plays, Russell is a better quarterback. He makes better plays. He can throw the ball up. You got a receiver out there who can snag anything. So hopefully he plays, and it'll be a good game. But I'm taking Steelers plus 2.5.
Plus 2.5.
The next one that day, Baltimore Ravens at the Houston Texans. Baltimore is favored by 4, and the over-under is 47.5. Taylor, what are you feeling here?
I like the Ravens.
Yeah.
I like the Ravens. Something's been up with the Texans all year. You still look at C.J. Stroud's numbers, and you're like, well, it's not a sophomore slump. He's moving the ball up and down the field. But Tank Dell, that injury, they've really got they're really hurt in a lot of ways. Losing Stephon Diggs. Now Tank Dell. They still got Nico Collins. They've really got to start feeding. What was the guy's name I was looking at here for a second? Where's he at? Dalton Schultz. He had a touchdown. He had a touchdown in the game. He needs to get fed early and often for them to have an opportunity here. But you look at Marlon Humphreys. He had a pick 6 in the game. Roquan Smith in the middle. He's doing an amazing job on defense. And then Kyle Hamilton. This kid, the range that this kid has in the back end. Yeah. Not only in the passing game where he can go sideline to sideline, but also filling in like an extra linebacker in the run game. Even when you toss out these bubbles to the perimeter, he is so quick to get there and meet them at the line of scrimmage. Does a great job of breaking down. Good job of solo tackling. Their defense is really firing around. What I love most about the Ravens right now is when they hit the KISS technique. They keep it simple, stupid. You give the ball to Derrick Henry over 20 times a game. They did this last time. He had 146 yards, no touchdowns, but he had 26 carries. Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely, 2 get-out-of-jail-free cards for Lamar Jackson. Isaiah, they do a great job with the wide delays where they kind of have a guy in there. They chip to help Lamar out a little bit, and then he flutters off to the flat. They toss it over to him. Mark Andrews, actually, fun fact, had his first touchdown against the Pittsburgh Steelers this past week. So let's give him a round of applause real quick. Making history. They play each other twice a year, and boom, he had his first one. The Baltimore Ravens, I like what I saw this week. I like the way they were operating. I like the way they handled business in all 3 phases. I do worry about them in the playoffs just because there's, you still got the Bills, you still got the Chiefs. But if they continue to have their game plan in the KISS method, they're a hard team to beat. And not to mention they almost beat the Kansas City Chiefs by 1 toe.
And that was the first game of the season.
Are you going Baltimore too?
I'm going Baltimore. I mean, again, Taylor said it. Baltimore is a different team from the first game that they played against Kansas City. You saw those guys understand how to run Derrick, how to use that offense with getting all the playmakers the ball. So, man, I got to go Baltimore. I just think that Houston is hurt right now, and they don't got enough weapons on their offense to beat Baltimore at the moment.
I agree. You want an extra Christmas present? It's Baltimore -4. To me, I like leaning on teams that play defense and can run the football this late in the season. And again, if you look at the Ravens, they're 10-3 in their last 13 games on the road. Derrick had 160 plus this last week. Yeah. They're number 1 in the NFL at stopping the run. Houston, they've been very inconsistent this year, and they're kind of middle of the pack at stopping the run. I love teams that can run the ball late in the year and play defense, and Baltimore is both of those things. So I got Baltimore.
Yeah,
too.
Houston missing a starting linebacker still. He's still suspended from the hit on Lawrence.
Yeah.
Alshire?
Yeah.
That was just crazy. That was a crazy hit.
They still.
And then the GM coming to his defense being like, we can't even talk
him.
to the guy. That's crazy. We can't even get psychiatric help.
Oh, yeah.
I know he's having a hard time.
But they going to pay him, though. You see, they opted
Oh, they are going to pay him?
Yeah, they going to pay him. They said, we giving him the money. That wasn't his fault.
That's a
huge franchise move.
Because that was like $1 million something. He gonna take that?
Yeah. Delanie, Thursday night football. So hey, Christmas is past. Hope everybody got what they wanted at this point. Hope everyone got what they wanted at this point. But now Thursday, the opportunity to get more presents. Seattle Seahawks are playing at the Bears. Seattle's favored -3. Total points in that game is 42.5. Delanie.
Man,
My question first, is anybody going Chicago?
No.
Yeah, okay.
Onwards.
No, I mean, come on, no. Chicago looked terrible yesterday. I got to go Seattle Seahawks. I know they took a tough loss against the Vikings, but Vikings are a good team. You got Justin Jefferson making that last-minute catch at the end of the game. I'm sorry. I'm talking about something else. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
Yeah.
You good?
It's all right. Work through it.
Again, I'm talking about the Seattle Seahawks game. Yeah. Justin Jefferson, when he made that last catch to end it. So the Seahawks is on their way. They make plays when they need to. They went against a good team with the Vikings. Everybody know how good the Vikings are this year. Them turning their season around, being able to be explosive. But the Chicago Bears, man, they in shambles. I feel like they had played a terrible game last week against the Lions. This Sunday against the Lions. Lions came out, destroyed them. I mean, it wasn't even a fair matchup. Them boys was throwing bombs, running all over them. I think that's going to be the same thing with the Seahawks. You got Walker, that's second, right? That's his
Kenneth
last name?
Walker?
Yeah.
The second coming back, I think, this week. Is he back this week?
He got hurt. He got hurt last night. He was playing well, but either way, what is it, Chardonnay? Yeah. Chardonnay, the backup. It doesn't matter who's in there. Like they have a
run. They have a still. But, I mean, when Walker's in there, the run game is 85% better once he's out there running the ball. So I think he's going to play this week. I think they're going to move the ball again on the Bears, and it's going to be a good game. Hopefully they don't play to the Bears level, and the Seahawks can walk away with this -3.
I don't think they play to the Bears level. Like, the Seahawks are in a unique position. We kind of talked about this before the show, where there's teams that have already, hey, we're making the playoffs. If we're not obviously in, we're at a 98, 97, 99% chance. It's really just you got to win one of your last 2 games, you're in, plus a bunch of people have to lose a whole lot. The Seattle Seahawks are not really in that position. They were at like a 34% chance before they played the Vikings. Now that number's gone even down, but they're not dead yet. So the conversation in that locker room is basically this. Hey, we do not control our fate, but we can control what we can control. Mm-hmm. And you have a bad Bears team, you have to make a statement here and hope a couple other teams lose. If that does happen, then we get a chance to get into the dance. They have more to play for than the Bears. The Bears are thinking about Cabo San Lucas, they're thinking about St. Bart's, they're thinking about their offensive line Vegas trip in the offseason. It's been a tough year for the Bears. It sucked. They've had some highs, but mostly lows. The Seattle Seahawks need to make a statement win here and keep their chances, their playoff chances alive. If they lose this game, it's absolutely over. And they're already kind of on the fringe. They need a couple other teams to lose. But I like the Seahawks a lot against the Bears, especially at this number.
You can't lose to the Bears. Again, Seattle's in a must-win situation. Their hopes are still alive. They're going to get another shot at the Rams here at the end of the year. But Seattle, this is a Seattle game all the way.
Yeah.
It's Seattle all the way.
But
all the way.
Only thing that scared me is just what you saw with Arizona and the Panthers. Panthers ending Arizona run for the playoffs. Like, can they come out there, go into that hole and lose this game?
Different circumstances.
It's different.
I think it's different.
Why do you think it's different?
The reason why I think it's different, go ahead. You want to
I was going to say, I think it's 2 things. Like a few weeks ago when we were talking about both Arizona and Seattle coming out of the bye week, Seattle was undefeated, like 3-0 or 4-0 coming out of the bye week.
Yeah.
Arizona had lost coming out of the bye week. Like, to me, these are 2 different teams and 2 different cultures. And also when you look at the Panthers and you look at the Bears, they're also, I know they both suck. But Carolina's like fighting. They've been fighting.
Yes,
right. Bryce Young's look good. Like they're playing some quality football. You see the locker room speeches after a game. The Bears, they're on a 9-game losing streak. They're not very good. They're leaning on Caleb Williams, who can make plays with his legs, and yes, he has no interceptions. But how much of that offense can he actually operate is a big question mark. They're going to be cleaning house at the end of the year, so I think it's just they're very different situations.
Yeah,
I don't think the Bears have a shot at this.
It's also, if you look back at the beginning of the year, there's a level of expectation for both teams. Everyone and their mother kind of looked at the Panthers and said, hey, this team's probably going to suck again this year. We're just going to really find out what Bryce Young's really all about.
True.
Then with the Bears, Caleb Williams being the second coming of football Jesus, they're like, hey, we're going to win the Super Bowl. Chicago's
because they got a lot of talent on that roster.
They have a lot of talent. They went and plucked a couple guys from the Chargers. They brought up some receivers. They've revamped their offensive line. They had a rookie that was a first-round pick getting into his second year, another year to develop. So there's a lot of things you can look at with the Bears and be like, yo, we have a huge opportunity this year. And then it really just went downhill. The Panthers have had a unique course throughout the season where Bryce Young is your starting quarterback. Somewhere along the lines, he gets benched and pulled, and everyone thinks this is the end of Bryce Young. We might never see him again unless he's holding a clipboard in his hand. Comes back and starts playing in a way where he's like pissed off. Like he's in a prove it type of mentality now where the kid's kind of got some heart. He's got some life about him. So as the roller coaster started going, Bears started plummeting down to earth, and they've kind of been towards that. While like the Panthers have kind of been this turbulent, rocky, but towards the end of the season, have been like, hey, let's start stacking some wins on top of getting to the 2025 season. And that's kind of where they sit now. So you see different inertias kind of happening with both of these teams. And that's why I think the Panthers took care of business against the Cardinals and Warzone. Right?
Yeah.
I mean,
that new Black Ops map that came
I don't
out.
think Bryce Young is too serious with Call of Duty right now. I'm sure he will in the offseason, getting after that whole thing. But I feel really good about Seattle. That's a nice little post-game Christmas present. Is Hanukkah still going on?
Yeah.
On Thursday? This week?
Yeah.
When's it end? You say like you know.
It's
Hanukkah.
8 nights and it started like 4 nights ago.
So we have 4 nights left. So it'll be the last night will be on Thursday then.
On Thursday.
Based on that math.
Absolutely.
I love it, dude.
At the
That's a
end,
nice little Hanukkah present for yourself.
The Christmas is the last day.
Yeah.
Hanukkah starts the night of the 25th.
Are you kidding me?
That boy Delanie over here talking about, I've been getting gifts. My son.
I didn't get no gifts.
Hey, they
I
ain't
said
give me
I ain't
nothing.
get
Well, he gets you that because it's not even Hanukkah yet.
Of course, I ain't get nothing.
Guy comes back from a trip one year, says I'm Hebrew Israelite now. I don't eat pork, and I'm trying to cherish him.
He asked me, did I get gifts? I
you
said
been
I
talking like,
celebrate.
nah,
You
no.
said Hanukkah started.
You said I don't.
I did say that. I did.
You said I don't get gifts. I like to dish gifts out.
I do.
So you just been dishing gifts out.
He's been
All
lying.
day, yeah.
Hey, you just lied.
No, I be
That's
dishing
just-
gifts
Hey,
out.
just a fucking lie.
when JP said it starts on Christmas, Delaney's like, oh shit.
Yeah, he knew. You know what's impressive? How you just say shit.
I've
without
been
knowing for
giving
real.
gifts out. That's all I've been doing.
is fucking
I've been,
crazy.
I'm misinformed. Every year, forever.
That's crazy.
my goodness.
Shit.
Games of the week.
He goes, I ain't getting any gifts. I'm thinking, yeah, well, Jewish. You know? It hadn't even fucking started yet.
Oh,
Get
damn.
Delaney some socks.
That's hilarious.
Games of the week. Games of the week are our favorite picks of the week.
I love yours.
I love
love yours.
talking about the Commanders -5 versus the Falcons. Now, the Falcons do have some life. They beat up on a very bad New York Giants team. Penix, he's got a lot of poise. JP being a Falcons fan, you got to be pretty excited about Penix because he is.
You know what he's talking
He
about.
throws the pill around.
Now drafted him, do they?
No, they don't. It's like, I mean, it could not have worked out, I guess, any better. But they assumed that Kirk was going to still have some juice going in until whenever his last year was going to be. I think it's next
If
year.
you take out giving Kirk Cousins $180 million, $120 guaranteed, that's a great move for the Falcons.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect move for the Falcons.
Flawless. You
Wait,
take
did-
out currency, brother? You're
Did they
living.
actually cut him?
No,
Oh.
but he's done.
No.
Yeah, I know he's done.
I mean, they're going to move on. He's going to
Yeah.
get 120 guaranteed.
They said they're going to cut him.
Oh, for real?
To avoid a $10
Yeah.
million.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
that comes
By
in
March
March.
or
They got to
Yeah.
cut him
Yeah.
by March. Y'all know that feeling.
There's always those
By
yeah,
March.
yeah.
You know that feeling. I know that feeling.
All
March.
right, let's
They
get
like
sad. Let's get
guaranteed
sad.
cut his
But
ass.
yeah, I do like Penix. Not sold on Penix. He did play the Giants, but I do like how he's
He
kinda
looks
in the
good,
pocket.
man. I mean,
Yeah,
it's not like he
did.
had some insane stat line, but just like, again, his poise and the way he was operating the offense, like he's going to have an awesome future with them. But the Commanders, they have not been 10-5 since 1991. And you look at Jaden Daniels, they trusted him to throw the ball 39 times against one of the better defenses in the league against the Eagles. And for him to have that last drive, he shows you that he is going to be that franchise quarterback.
Yes.
And the way he roped that one in there
Roped it.
on the touchdown, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
I love the Commanders here. I think this game is it makes me nervous going Commanders because, again, it's going to be Penix's second game, and
Right.
as solid as he looked in the first game. But, again, he was beating up on the Giants. I like the Commanders traveling down to Atlanta because, again, the Commanders are still fighting. It is kind of dictated. I want to say they're the 7th seed right now. They would need the Packers to lose a couple to jump them. But you're fighting for the playoffs. You're coming off of that big-time emotional win. You got McLaurin. You got Scary Terry.
Scary Terry.
You got the run game that they have, an athletic offensive line. I think they handle this game, and I like Washington -5.
It does worry me because the Commanders were being handled until Jalen Hurts went down, and then I don't know if it was an emotional thing or it was like they were taking a little bit of a deep breath. Hey, we got to get this guy right, and then all of a sudden they started to come back and they end up inevitably winning that game. I like the Commanders. We've been high on Jaden Daniels all year. That's been both of us. We've both been a fan of him. And I've kind of already said it before you started talking. Michael Penix, I love what he came out and did Obviously, Kirk Cousins has been probably an incredible mentor. You see the way he operates and handles himself, even in situations like a defeating situation like this. I'm sure he's being great to Penix, showing him what he's learned throughout the years. And I think he'll be very successful, and Atlanta should be excited about their future. Right now, the Commanders are motoring. They're moving a little bit. And to get a win against Philly. An in-conference rival that has been really just mowing over everybody, had a 10-game win streak and put it away, regardless of their quarterback going out or not.
The quarterback went out, but they still win the game even with 5 turnovers.
True. Yeah.
Which is big. And what also, too, makes me a little nervous with this game, I think this game is going to be awesome to watch because the Falcons still have a lot to play for. Like, they can still win the division. The way the Bucs just lost to Dallas, like, they do have a lot to play for. I'm just kind of going off of they beat up on a very bad Giants team, and I like the energy that Washington has going into this game.
I'm with you. And Bobby Wagner getting hung up on the side of the sidelines. You see that?
No.
He goes off to the sidelines, and his cleats get tagged into those little big cameras that they kind of roll up and down the sidelines.
Yeah.
And everyone's always like, "Hey, move back," while they're moving that thing through. His ass is in there all hemmed up in the air, and all his boys, there's 5 or 6 of them, going to get him out. Talking about team, baby.
Yeah.
Get your boy out of there.
Yeah.
Get him out of the riffraff.
Good moment we're gonna laugh about after the game.
Yeah, I love Wagner. I love Louvu. That defense has just gotten better and better each week. I think they're sitting at 11 as overall in total defense, and they started towards that 20-ish, late teens range early in the year. They've just gotten better and better. I like them.
Did you see that block that Juergens had? He's the center for the Eagles.
No, but please explain it to me in depth.
Where I'm thinking about getting on the board. But they're double mugged up in the A-gaps.
Mm-hmm.
So, he's based off the point, whichever. He's got somebody.
Third down?
They drop out. Yeah, third down. They drop out. Juergens makes his way all the way around the left tackle and picks up somebody late coming off the edge. He was a free runner.
Pop technique.
Yeah. Who's a free, and he was it was silky smooth, tight behind the entire line of scrimmage. I thought it was insane.
You sneak them. You want to sneak them. You don't want them to see you. You know what I'm saying?
But how many what's up? Oh, that's the video of the play? But how many centers do you feel like can do that? There's
Not
is
many.
this something that's easily done?
They're going to ask him, can he do it?
Beautiful.
Yeah. What is it called?
It's a pop technique. Basically, let me go back. I want to see that one more time. I want to see where the back's at.
It's only if he uncovered, correct? Or the guard is uncovered, you can do that.
So back is.
Is he just thinking once his backer and his left A gap drops, he's looking to wrap?
So there's multiple different ways to look at it. One, that could be a predetermined play call where you're going to man up your guards and tackles, especially in a 7-up look. And a lot of times in a 7-up look, that could be a 0, where you can do full slides, left and right, and the quarterback knows he's hot off of one area and then have a hot route. But with the center, if you have a double mug look and both guys are popping, and you might have mic'd one of those backers. This guy comes most of the time, we're going to mic him. When that guy drops, it's kind of like, hey, look and find extra work.
Yeah.
A lot of times, if you're in that situation, that would be a 2-jet. You would slide and bump your guard who would bump your tackle, and your tackle would take the widest. Mm-hmm. But if you've mic'd somebody, essentially all 5 of your offensive line are man-on-man. And tackle, whoever you mic'd, tackle, end. So you know that everyone's accounted for. Him getting out and finding work like that makes me think that was kind of a predetermined thing. Because the slide, not only to slide that gracefully, that beautifully, we're talking about poetry in motion, dancing bear, but to get it behind tackles and guards who are also going backwards. I mean, if there's a good bull rush from that
he
end,
ain't getting there.
He ain't getting there.
Yeah,
so that's an impressive play.
But who did he pick up? Was it a nickel Sam?
That's a nickel. Yeah,
nickel Sam. Yeah, that's
because you got everybody and their mother up, and it's basically up to the quarterback to go, you know what it is, dude, it's third down.
Yeah.
And the way third down meetings work, it's obviously money down.
Yeah.
So you sit there and you have a meeting in the offensive line room, and they're going over all of the blitzes. Mm-hmm. When they show this look, this is what we're doing. When they show that look, this is what they're doing. Not to mention all the centers were there at 5 a.m. already going over that with the quarterback.
Yeah.
You leave that room, then you go into an offensive meeting room and you have that conversation
again,
where now you're going over the same exact plays in the same exact order. Then you go out to walk through and you're looking through all of those plays in all of that order. Then you get to practice in third down and they're showing the different variants of blitzes they have. Yeah. Then after that, you're gonna go and do another walkthrough after practice.
Yeah.
So that kind of stuff is beating your mind. It's like getting ready for a test every single week. And that Thursday is usually that third down day. Yeah, where you're everything's focused on this right here. That's impressive movement.
That's impressive.
Hey,
I mean,
that gets you fucking a little movement down below.
Yeah.
Seeing that kind of shit,
and
that would go to the category of football porn. That is beautiful.
And he knew exactly, but most centers are the smartest old linemen on the field.
Especially, centers for sure.
because he probably saw it and knew,
Yeah.
like, oh, this is it
Yeah.
right here. They
Like
gonna,
Ben
he
Jones-
leans backwards. and
yeah,
says, I'm out.
I'm out.
Yeah, Ben Jones would have known that is happening. Ben Jones would not have gotten there, but he would have known the shit was happening. He would have started yelling my name and Roger Saffold's, and we would have been like, hey, we gotta get our asses
Bill
out
would
of
have
here.
said, we slide.
Tyler!
slide.
All right, brother, let's get out there.
Big Jurgens, he can move now.
He can move.
He
Hey,
can move.
he got some twinkling feet.
Yeah, he does.
I like that.
He does.
Something that's beautiful about this show is how bad some of our takes are. I know I had one in college football last week that we can definitely talk about in a little bit. But one that did not age well was Will Compton coming at Justin Herbert. 284 yards, 2 touchdowns and an interception versus the Broncos. I got them in my game of the week, boys. I'm feeling juicy about it. They're playing the Patriots. Patriots have a dog shit defense. They're
Yes.
21st overall and overall defense. They play against the Bills, go up 14-0 early on them, and then they kind of get stagnant, don't have anything happening until the end of the game. Now, I want to give some flowers to Drake May. Boy takes a snap on the 5-yard line and fumbles it, drops that little boy, decides, let's go and cradle that thing up like a grenade, save your boys around you. Let's just take this one in the chest and move forward. Next play, he gets the little guy sliding out, a little touchdown, makes the game a little bit closer because they were up 24-14 at one point. Makes you think, holy shit, are the Patriots back? Not so fast, my friend. No, they're not. The Chiefs, the Chiefs. The Chargers, first off, the free kick was cool. That's really all I have to say about that. The free kick was cool. Chargers are down 21-10 at halftime. It's not looking good. The Broncos are really slicing and dicing them all the way. Justin Herbert has a bad pick going into the second half in his 2-minute where he is on the goal line. It gets intercepted in the end zone and brought back out. So all the momentum is really on the Broncos sideline. They come out from half, they get a quick stop on defense, and they start motoring down the field and handling business the way they do. That is a culture situation to me. Now, I don't know if I have it here. Yeah, I do. The Chargers are basically in the playoffs, which is a huge tip of the cap to Harbaugh and what he's been able to do. A team that was terrible last year, and now at this point they have a 98% chance of missing the playoffs. Basically, you have to lose both of your games, and 50 people have to lose also. So they're going to make it. I like the Chargers. I think the Patriots are a little more slept on than their record shows. I think Drake May is a lot more talented than people think, and they'll have a great future with him potentially. But that's not going to be this week. I really like Justin Herbert and the Chargers. I love the vibes.
Yeah.
I love the vibes of the Chargers. I feel really good about it. Their defense, for as many and big names they have, they're only ranked 15th. But being middle of the pack in the league is not necessarily bad. You're good enough right now. But when you got Joey Bosa, Mac, Derwin James, who, by the way, they put him all over the field. They put him in safety. They put him in a linebacker position.
Yeah, he'll
multiple
come down
times.
He'll chase the best
Multiple times
receiver
against
too.
Bo Nix.
If it's a tight end, the best tight end, he gonna match him the whole game.
Right.
But I like how the Chargers would move him around a bunch, and they brought him a lot of time in blitzes, especially in third down packages. Bo Nix, ultimate pro. They had a great job. You see him multiple times. Flipping sides, 2-jet, 3-jet, hey, we're going to flip this, we're going to mic this, kind of the protection things we were talking about. But for a rookie to understand that and kind of have Derwin taken care of as much as you can take care of Derwin James is pretty impressive. They got to him a few times, but I was impressed by the Broncos, not by the end of the score, but the way Bo Nix was handling himself. Give me the Chargers, -4.5 against the Patriots.
At some point, we got to start talking about Herbert being a top 5 quarterback in the league.
He's not wrong, bro. I mean,
after this offseason, they going to start talking about it. You're going to start seeing just Justin Herbert everywhere. I guarantee you. Just going to the playoffs. And just see how far they go in the playoffs. That's when his name would get brought up a little bit more.
Watching the Bills, their defense, where they're at right now, giving up points to a team like the Patriots, I don't know if the Bills want to see the Chargers.
Yeah, I can believe that.
The Bills will take the Chargers,
dude,
bro.
Josh Allen is amazing. That offense is incredible. I'm just saying, like, their defense is tough to watch right now.
They just start
They
off
give up
slow,
21
though.
points to the Patriots.
Yeah.
The 2 games before that, 40 points and 40 points.
Yeah, you're right.
They're having a difficult time. They're slowing down at the most important time to speed up a little bit.
tell them to.
I like Bills Mafia. I do. I like you guys a lot. I worry about your defense.
But if the Chargers are playing the Bills in the playoffs, the Chargers will be traveling out to the Bills.
Yeah, to the Bills.
And
They'll
again,
be playing
they're
in
playing
the
the
cold.
Patriots. I'm not saying they're like playing down to that level, but when the playoffs hit, like their mentality is going to be peak. You saw Josh Allen after the presser yesterday talking about, do you show a certain amount of plays going into the playoffs? Or are you just trying to, you're still trying to fight for the 1 seed. Like, how much are you trying to expose everybody
That's an
else?
excuse.
1 seed stuff. Chiefs would have to
That's
lose.
an excuse. You gonna hide plays for the playoffs?
No,
bro.
I don't hate that at all.
I don't like that.
Where they sit out, we've talked about this. A lot of teams have already like made their nest for the playoffs. They know where they're at. They know where they're sitting. Very few teams are clamoring for like that move up a seed or not. A lot of teams are dead, and then there's a couple in the middle. When it comes to the Bills, essentially the Chiefs have to lose both of their next games, and they have to win both of their games.
Right. To be the
And
1
so it's
seed.
like
Wait, so
You're
the
gonna be the
Bills
2 seed.
clinched though, didn't they?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Bills are in the
Yeah,
playoffs.
they in
the-
They're still fighting. Like if the Chiefs lose the next 2, they could potentially
You
get
have
the 1
home
seed. and
seed,
get
yeah.
sneaky,
the bye
sneaky though
week.
with the Ravens and the Steelers though, because they're still duking it out, and they could snake it. If the Bills don't handle business, they could sneak a seed.
Bills will handle business.
I think they will.
And to your point, like you're not going to empty the clip, like
No, I ain't gonna show
all
you
of your
everything,
offensive
but
strategy against the Patriots. Like people are talking about the little trip up by the Lions when they scored against
Oh,
the
yeah,
Bears
that
and they're
fake,
up like
yeah.
2 scores already. Like why even
why you show
that
that?
play?
Why show
Peter
that?
Schrager, shout out the boy Peter Schrager. He's like, hey, is this Ben Johnson in front of Chicago showing them what he could do as a head coach, like kind of showing off a little bit when he's going to be on the head
Oh,
coach?
You know how
'cause he
that
on the hot
play
seat,
that
yeah.
play came about, right?
Uh-uh.
So when the Bears played the Packers, Jordan Love actually tripped. And they thought they were going to do it, and they noticed that the defense all flowed up, and he ended up getting the ball off to one of their tight ends or receiver.
Yeah.
Didn't end up being a touchdown. But if you look at that play next to the Lions play, it's the exact same play. The exact same
That's
motion,
amazing,
the exact
because
same
that
everything.
DB for the Bears stopped for a second. He's
Stop.
like, oh shit.
Well,
Yes.
they did a wide sneak though. He snuck across and
Yeah.
then went up.
Dude,
Yeah.
it's the same. It is the same play. It's like a Lucy type of movement protection. You're faking the handoff and you're rolling around behind the right tackle, and you should have your play to the left side where your eyes are perfect.
Yeah.
They faked that, so the Packers literally actually fell, actually fumbled, actually picked it up, and then got one off late.
Yeah.
The Lions just pretended.
Fake
and
it.
Yeah, like,
got
hey,
their
let's
ass.
run this.
I'll show you a clip too because it's actually insane. I saw it this morning. It was like, holy fuck.
Yeah, that
they
was
actually
pretty crazy.
planned that based off what they saw earlier in the season,
Yeah.
which anyone who bet against the Lions last week is dumb. Stupid. How could you fucking bet against the Lions?
Oh shit.
That is crazy.
But I like your Chargers pick.
I like the
Chargers
Chargers
minus
pick
1.5.
too. Yeah.
And if you want some data to back it up, Harbaugh is 26-7 against the spread as a favorite by 6 points or less.
Yes, sir. That's
Shout
my
out, Mitch.
dog. Well, shit, I'm gonna go Packers at the Vikings. Both teams has been good this season. You know, I mean, moving the ball well, playing well. Quarterbacks are playing well, but I got to go with the Packers. I got to take the Packers +2. And the reason why I'm taking the Packers +2 is because the Vikings are the 3rd worst team in the league against the pass. And Jordan, oh my God, Jordan Love right now is blowing up right now. His passing game has been incredible. He's been taking off these last few weeks. And I just don't think they can stop Brandon Jacobs. Did I say Brandon? I said
Josh
Josh
Jacobs.
Jacobs.
Josh Jacobs. That's okay.
Brandon Jacobs. Y'all remember Brandon Jacobs?
Yeah, you should take souls out there on the field.
Yeah. God dang. I don't know why I thought about him, but he, you know, you got those two guys on offense moving right now. The defense is playing good enough where, you know, they may hold the Vikings a few points down, but you got to know the Vikings only been winning these games, squeaking by winning games right now. They getting the job done, but they're barely winning games. And I don't think they're going to be able to do that with the Packers and their defense and that offense coming together, especially I know they both on the line of being in the playoffs and clinching that. So the Packers got to show up this week. I think this is going to be a big game for them to go out there and beat the Vikings.
Yeah, this game's going to be electric. I'm just going over here. I don't know how to pick this game
I like the
because
Vikings.
they both run the ball well.
Very well.
They both play well on defense. They're both sides defensively. They're opportunistic on getting takeaways.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't necessarily. I'm going to stay away from the spread on this, but I do like the over 48.
The over 48 looks really good. I like the Vikings. I think Sam Darnold, he's still got his chip on his shoulder. He says he got his PhD from Sean McVay and how to understand offenses and everything like that. He's got something serious to prove right here. He wants a big contract coming up in the offseason.
He's going to get one, bro.
He's gonna get one, but I'm saying
Yeah.
he's making statements. He's got that killer instinct. He got that redhead killer instinct going on.
But
right
you
now.
got to
If
remember
you're the
LaFleur,
Vikings,
they all come from the same tree.
you paying Darnold?
No. They got a rookie. They waiting on him to get healthy. Why pay Donald?
Yeah, but you don't necessarily know exactly what you have with the rookie.
But he was the starter until he got hurt. So
Here's
Because he was the first round. pick.
True.
Here's a good
True.
thing about Sam
And
Darnold.
Darnold, he didn't get a shot last year. Which team was he on last year? The Niners.
No.
No.
Oh, you
He's
know
been
what?
on the
It was.
Niners and
He got
Rams.
his PhD from Kyle Shanahan. My fault.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah,
Sean
cause I was
McVay.
about to say
All
they
the
all
same
come from
kind
the
of
same
tree.
tree.
Shanahan,
Yeah,
McVay,
yeah,
all
yeah.
those
Yeah,
boys.
LaFleur, all
O'Connell.
them, they all from the same tree.
I think the Vikings are in an interesting place because they could actually pay Sam Darnold and see if it works out with JJ, because Sam Darnold's gonna have a hot market. You can go and trade him, get him a team-friendly deal, pay him that $45 million a year, because that's what quarterbacks are commanding right now, and just say, hey, we're gonna keep you. We want to see if this guy develops, but you've earned this contract. But just know that we could be able to trade you at any point if Sam is willing to do that. If I'm Sam, I want to go to the Tennessee Titans and find a home, win a Super Bowl. That's what
I'm gonna tell you right now.
if I'm thinking just purely unbiased, I'm thinking I got to get to Nashville.
They're not gonna give him a big deal, like long-term deal, and I think that's what he's looking for right now is a long-term deal. So he's gonna go to, like you said, either Tennessee, a team that needs a quarterback that's gonna give him a 4-year contract. Half his shit can't guaranteed. Why stay with the Vikings where they probably say we're gonna give you a 2-year contract or a 1-year contract? Let's see where you at, because we did just draft a guy that's promising. We hope he can be our franchise quarterback, but we want to keep you just in case something happens. Do you want to be that guy?
You know who's in the worst position right now? You know you don't want to be? JJ McCarthy. Because the expectation, you're 12-2 or 13-2, excuse me. You don't want to be the guy taking over the reins, being like, we just got rid of the quarterback that got us to this point. Now we all got to look at you and be, hey, brother, go get it done for us. And you're like, holy fuck, I haven't played a snap in the NFL yet.
Well, he played preseason.
He hasn't played a snap at the NFL yet.
I mean,
You go to preseason, you get cut. Did you play in the NFL? No.
Yeah,
No. You have a couple cool pictures with you in the uniform. That's
I'm
it.
telling
no
everybody
chance.
I
I know, I'm
played.
telling everybody too. You saw me out
You
there.
saw me out
You
there.
saw me in Nashville.
You
Played
crazy.
65 snaps.
6 tackles.
Third preseason game.
Yeah, you played.
Yeah.
I played the whole game.
Come
Yeah.
on.
You,
But you go ahead and look at that 401k, that credited season, nowhere to be seen.
nowhere. It's not
So
there.
what are we talking about?
No, it's not there. But
Yeah.
that highlight.
With your homies, you go back home and you're like, guys, y'all see me? Like, bro, you look so good. How'd they cut you? Like, you know how it is, man.
You know how it is.
Coach didn't
Politics.
like me. Coach didn't like
Politics.
me. You know how it is.
Yeah.
You got to play and you got a shot in the NFL. You got to wear the jersey.
You got to wear the
Yeah.
jersey.
You
That's
get
sick.
to keep the jersey.
Is there
Preseason.
anything sadder than seeing a rookie, undrafted rookie, not know that he's going to get cut and then get cut and you just see him crying, walking out of the locker room? That shit broke my heart every single
Not
year.
me.
Yeah, I mean, cut days.
I know
Like,
not you, because you're fucking
I'll be like, bro,
ruthless.
nobody gives a fuck, bro. You crying. Get out of here. Like, why you crying?
Because his dreams have been shattered.
Don't
Delanie.
walk in here then. If you just got cut, take your ass straight to the car. Why do they come in there and be like, I'm like,
Because they had a relationship with you, or they thought they did. Like, hey, D, man, they got me.
This man has zero empathy.
And you going to say what? Hey,
What are you
bro, don't
talking
even
about?
trip. There's 31 other teams out there.
I'm like, you ain't
You
gonna
never
make
cried.
it.
Yeah, you never
Ball.
cried during a football game.
Never.
He don't. Delanie don't. He's not a
Bang!
Never.
Miami, longest game in the NFL. I got knocked out. You broke your leg. I walked in
wasn't
the X-ray
crying.
room.
I wasn't crying.
I walked in the X-ray room and
shit,
held
stand
your
up.
head against my chest while you sobbed.
You was crying.
Yeah, I cried. I got knocked out. I didn't know where I was.
I was on morphine. I don't
Shut
remember
up, bro.
crying.
You're still getting X-rays. Ain't
I
no
was
IV
on
inside you.
morphine,
Your leg was
cuz.
facing the other way, and they were taking X-rays. And I said, "Hey, bro, you good?" And I took that beautiful head of yours. I put it right here, and you just started weeping.
I don't remember that.
You don't remember that?
I
Was that a concussion? I remember that.
You had a
Never cried before a
concussion. This
game.
motherfucker had a
Never cried
concussion.
before a game.
Telling me he can
Mr.
remember.
Tough Guy. What are we talking about?
My dog was knocked
Delaney
out
talk
for
all
5
tough.
minutes.
Delaney
He
talks all
don't
tough.
remember
Before
that shit.
Delaney left the Titans, he wouldn't even do walkthroughs in the turf. He would bring a chair out with these big ass fucking shoes and just sit there. Nah, man, my knees, man, my back, man. What we doing? Hey, Mr. Tough Guy over here never cried in his life, but can't do a walkthrough.
I practice on the grass. If they went inside, I'm like, yo, this ain't gonna work for me. And they be like, you good, chill. I'll be like, all right, good. Like, I mean, I ain't with. Oh yeah,
Hey, all right, chill.
This shit ain't gonna work for me.
yeah, they gonna work for me. We need new turf. I used to say that. Then they get new turf. We get cut. They get new turf.
Great,
Yeah.
ballsy pick. Let's go to the ballsy pick segment. Brought to us by Fireball. The ballsy pro pick of the week is sponsored by Fireball. Just said it. I'll say it again. Fireball is a perfect shot for game day. Whether you're buying those sneaky little shooters before going into the stadium, or going big with the Fireball keg for your tailgate. Whether it's a pregame shot in a tailgate lot or a celebratory touchdown shot at the bar, no matter what, it's guaranteed to ignite your game day. I fucked up my ballsy pick. I didn't realize I fucked it up, but I fucked it up. That's on me. Hand up. Accountability. I
So
took
you're on Bears again.
Yeah,
no.
he
No,
picked-
I was going Seattle 6. I was moving the line.
Oh,
Seattle 6.5.
Okay. All right.
Seattle 6.5.
Where's my eye?
So Seattle's favored
Look
by
back
3
at the
right
text.
now.
Most of you guys try to put your little hats up. Look at the text. It's in the locker room.
But you're saying that Seattle, the line is at -3 right now. You're going to move it to -6.5.
Minus
Give you
6.5.
plus odds.
Yes.
That's going to be your ballsy
That's
pick.
going to be my ballsy pick. We've already talked about Seattle. We've already talked about Bears. Know that it's there. Enjoy it. Love it. Taste it. Put it in your mouth. It tastes delicious. Go ahead, boys. What do you got?
I go for it because the Titans and Jaguars game is good. Then you could.
Yep,
be
and it's a
okay.
1-point spread, so that's very on brand.
I mean, come on, man. What do you want of me? It was early.
Just going to pick this game is ballsy.
There's one
I
note.
know.
There's one
Hey,
note.
just going to pick this game is ballsy.
It-
This is a shit game.
This is
right
a
now.
shitty
There's one
game.
note on here from Mitch Carsley.
It's
This may be the
terrible.
toilet bowl. I mean, holy shit.
and that's literally what it is.
Yes.
Like, but I'm taking Titans money line. Rudolph, I think with Rudolph as the quarterback, we can get the job done. You got to look at what he did last week, even though they
Yep, 2 picks to Kenny Moore.
They still
Go
put
on.
up 30
but
points.
they still put up 30
Still
points
put
and
up 30
almost had a
points.
chance to win the game. No,
Put up
come
30
on,
points.
man.
Did you hear the commentators during that game?
Yes.
So when he threw that pick to Kenny Moore, which, by the way, right in his chest.
Right in his chest.
He goes, that's why they benched Will Levis. Those are Will Levis type of interceptions. Will Levis was just taking bullets in the chest of the
bullets for no.
commentators.
And then did you see they put tie for most interceptions? Will Levis. I said, no, what the
Crazy.
We got both our quarterbacks
Crazy.
is
But,
tied.
dude, Jonathan Taylor had a
Going
career day.
nuts.
It
Went
wasn't even
nuts.
getting touched
And the Colts, they don't want to throw the football.
at all.
They want to do
It
that.
was
want to do is
run.
stack
All
the
Titans
box.
had to- all
They
they had to do was
pulled
stack
him.
the box.
They pulled the running back at the second half. They had to put
And
him
then
back
put
in
it
the
back
game.
in. That is crazy. I do like the pick. I think the Titans will win.
I think the Titans
they
will
should
win.
lose.
I like the Titans.
Yeah,
too.
I think the
like
Titans should win
Titans.
this game.
Mason Rudolph, though, he actually is way better. He's
I
way
don't-
better. I feel bad saying that. 'cause
I
do like
feel
Will.
bad saying that.
Will's a
too.
good guy,
He's
friend
a
of the
good
show,
guy,
friend of the
yeah.
show. But listen,
He throwing
as
it.
long as
He's a
Miles Garrett
different
doesn't have a helmet in
situation.
his hand, Mason Rudolph gonna be all right. You know,
I'm going Broncos. Broncos money line against the Bengals. Bengals are favored by -3.5. But the Broncos got to get this one. It'd be their first time making the
look this
playoffs since
up.
2015 when Peyton Manning was the quarterback. And if you look at the Bengals, their offense, Joe Burrow, it's tough to pick this game because of that offense. But as long as the Broncos win time of possession, they run the football, they establish the run game. Bo Nix makes a few plays with his feet. We say it every week, his legs. But if you look at the Bengals, the only wins that they have on the season, they are on a 3-game win streak. However, those wins, the Cowboys, Titans, and Browns. Their other wins, the Panthers, Browns, and the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at
I'm just looking something up.
if you look at their losses, here's how I'm going to categorize it.
Okay.
If you look at their losses, Steelers, Chargers, Ravens twice, Patriots, Chiefs, Eagles, Commanders. I think the Broncos fit that box more than they do who they've beat. So I'm going with the Broncos money line. Again, tough loss against the Chargers last week when they blew the lead. They're flying out to Cincinnati. They got to have this game because they are in a race right now with the Chargers and who else?
Chiefs.
No, I mean, yeah, Chiefs won the division.
I mean, the Raiders are dead.
Raiders are
yeah.
dead. But I
So it's
like
Broncos
the
and
Broncos.
Chargers.
I like the Broncos.
Chargers are going to make the playoffs. These two teams are kind of fighting for that last spot because obviously you have the Steelers and the Ravens in the AFC North. What I was looking up is like the Bengals' chance to win the playoffs. They have to win out and a couple things to happen, but like it's like that meme, dude. It's like, how are you not dead? And then it's like, I don't know. And that's essentially the Cincinnati Bengals. They just continue to just somehow have a pulse through the season while everybody else is just getting binked left and right. I don't like the pick. Because all I see in my head right now is a 15-yard line where Joe Burrow is laid out completely, throwing the ball and hits his boy right in the chest. He just has a way of doing things. He got his boy his katana samurai swords.
Oh, no,
Coolest
that was
possible gift
crazy.
you can get, guys. Would you rather have a truck or a legitimate samurai sword?
That
Truck.
was like a sign of respect, right? Back in the day.
Truck.
And their swords from real battle.
From real battles that actually have
awesome.
stories.
Who told him? I mean, that's what the Asian people told him when they sold him it. Yeah, for $10,000
Because
more.
Brock Purdy, he got his boys.
What you
What do you say?
He said that's what the Asian people told him when they sold him it for probably $10,000 more.
I think that the katanas are maybe the coolest gift I've ever seen.
Dope.
No, Brock Purdy got his boys Toyotas, but it's like one is a Toyota.
It's
not
a Tundra.
American-made.
He's probably sponsored by Toyota.
Hey,
probably
he is.
sponsored by Toyota
He's
for
sponsored
sure.
by them. Montana boy, I
Yeah.
think. Yeah, he's sponsored by them.
I think the samurai swords are dope. That being said, I'm staying away.
So
Because of samurai swords, I guess. That's the only reason why I'm doing it.
You rather have the sword than the truck. That's paid for already.
Well, yeah, because he can get himself a truck.
I can buy myself a truck.
We all can buy ourselves
Yeah,
a
but
truck,
like,
but
imagine
a
having a
truck?
samurai sword with like a like some battlefield meeting. Like, oh, who got that for you? Be like, when I played in the NFL, my quarterback got that for me.
I'm gonna go
Joe
to the
Burrow, who's wearing a gold jacket right now.
Yeah, Joe
I'm
Burrow
gonna go
got
to
that
the
for me.
pawn shop and
Joe
get
Burrow
you
looked me in the
one
eyes, handed me, and said, "You're the
where
best
the
offensive I've ever
crackhead
had."
actually did use it in a fucking battle.
But that's the thing. It's a gift that you would never think to get yourself anyway.
True.
A
That's a
samurai
well thought out
sword?
gift.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people who have samurai swords in
All
their
right,
office.
Delanie.
Dog, Delanie, you went to Rocky Point, Mexico.
I'm just saying.
Do you not remember as a kid?
I think I have a
sword?
samurai sword, but it's like it looked like a cane. It ain't the like you
So
don't
it's
have the
not- That's
ripple.
just a sword.
No, that's a samurai sword. Y'all never seen the Blind Ninja?
What is that? What sitcom is that off of?
It's a night about like 1990 movie. Back in the day, he was blind. He was a ninja, and he had a cane, but it
called
turned into
Daredevil.
a sword. It's not called Daredevil.
Yeah.
It's called the Blind Fury. Look it up, Blind Fury.
Ain't no monitors out here to go pull
No,
something
my
up for
man,
you.
he Google it.
They'll shoot a show.
It came out on Hanukkah, right?
1989,
1989.
Blind Fury. It was one of the
year of
best
Will
karate
Compton.
movies ever.
Yeah. The year
That's
of the
great.
snake.
The Year of the Snake.
I'd rather
Yeah,
have the
dude,
truck.
I
though.
would much rather have samurais. You can buy yourself a truck. You pull up in a new vehicle every week.
I know, but that's
Some
my
people
money.
have like fits to come to shows. You have cars.
That's my money. I'd rather use your money to get a truck, boy.
Yeah. Well, guys, you know when Hanukkah starts. Rapid fire.
Yeah, rapid fire. He's not here.
Hey, I'll
not
fuck that
here.
Hanukkah up. Literally.
Sure.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for all the Jewish people out there. I crashed that one. Sorry about that.
Apology late in the show.
yeah. No sleep.
Shout out Coop. It's hard shoes to fill. Let's go with rapid fire. We got Cowboys at the Eagles -7 over under 42.5.
Cowboys. Cowboys. Bro,
Cowboys.
the Eagles might be in trouble.
I know. Cowboys.
Kenny Pickett, Eagles.
Jets at Bills -9.5 over under 47.5.
Under.
Jets.
Wait, we
Jets
skipped the
plus
Yeah,
Lions?
talks about how he loves the Bills. All of a sudden,
We skipped the
Jets.
Lions?
We skip the lines. We'll go back.
Oh, Bills.
Threw Delanie off with that one.
Yeah.
Skip
What the
one
fuck?
game and he-
What is happening here? Huh?
Lions -4 at 49ers over under 51.5.
Lions -4.
Lions -4.
Lions.
49ers are out of the playoffs. Sad.
Panthers at Bucks -7.5 over under 48.5.
Bucks.
Give me the Panthers. Panthers plus 7.5.
Bucks.
Cards at Rams -5.5 over under 49.
Cardinals.
Rams -5.5.
Rams. I'm
They
Rams.
just got whooped by the Panthers, bro.
I know.
Come back.
They're dead.
Come back.
And that's
They'll
your
cover.
rapid fire.
They got
They're going
eliminated.
to cover.
They got eliminated
Rams?
from
They're
right
going to
now?
cover.
Man,
Rams are
They
rolling.
got
Watch-
everybody
dude,
back
watch
right
Kyler
now.
Murray play so loose.
Crazy.
I don't need to hear this from you guys, man.
That's the
Yeah.
last one. Thank you,
And that was your
Sherm. Thank you, Sherm. This last segment, the Bet the Boys Parlay, presented by DraftKings. I love watching sports, but you know what makes it even better? Having some skin in the game. And thanks to our partners at the DraftKings Sportsbook, they are offering live betting, same game parlays, and prop betting. You can even follow your favorite Barstool personalities by joining the Barstool betting group on the app. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and sign up using our promo code LOCKER. That is promo code LOCKER only at DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Saquon Barkley.
Jonathan Taylor.
James Cook.
Really?
I love this parlay.
Yeah.
And also, you feel the weight? There's none.
off.
Yeah, it's
It's
off. It's
off,
off. Hey,
dude.
it's off.
Let's
All
go
Might
right.
as well
on
be
a
in the
heater.
mood right now. We're just floating around.
Yeah,
Life is
hell
good.
yeah.
Let's go on a heater. Saquon Barkley, Jonathan Taylor, James Cook. Should we throw in?
No. Nope. Hey, just no.
Should we throw in Mike Evans versus the Panthers?
Nope.
I love Mike
I
Evans.
mean,
Jonesy
Mike
do,
Evans
but
is
hey,
going to score
Just
for
because you got a
sure.
little crumb, you got yourself a little slice of bread.
Let's eat the whole pie.
Yeah, let's eat the whole pie by just getting more food every single week. We got three nice picks here. Jonathan Taylor, Saquon Barkley, James Cook. Wow, that one feels good. You feel that? That's a fresh pie.
Because James
fresh
Cook
pie.
went in last.
fresh pie.
Boy, James
love
Cook
a
went
four-legger.
in.
Listen,
Or Jahmyr
I mean,
Gibbs.
Gibbs is still the starting running back right now.
I'll do Jimmy Gibbs.
He got
All right.
the third most touchdowns.
We'll
in
throw in
NFL.
Jahmyr Gibbs.
Why not, dude? We hit one parlay. Let's just make a
Four-legger.
four-legger this week.
Bussin With The Boys Parlay's a four-legger. Jonathan Taylor, James Cook, Jahmyr Gibbs, and Saquon Barkley.
We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk college football. Bowl season, boys. Bowl season. Merry Christmas.
All right, welcome back to the locker room. It is bowl season, and before we jump into these games, we are brought to you by DraftKings. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. To my partners at DraftKings, the holidays are here, and my partners at DraftKings have the perfect gift for you. Right now, all new DraftKings customers who bet just $5 will get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Just download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and sign up using our promo code LOCKER. The crown is yours. Fellas, the college football playoff.
Yeah.
Every home team beat their ass.
Beat their ass. And there was a massive
Beat they
exposure.
ass.
At the break, a little bit of conversation about Kirk Herbstreit was going on. Kirk had a good take. He was talking about the best teams and the most deserving teams. And that's the kind of his take. He was following suit with SMU and Indiana especially, because Indiana had an 11-win season. However, the teams that they played, he said they weren't real teams. Like, you need to look at these other teams that played a better competition and then put those guys in the playoffs. This is my take on college football right now. I think the Bulls we're about to talk about, I hate doing this to the show. It's dumb because we're now in a situation where NIL is in a tough spot. The transfer portal is in a tough spot because you literally have players like Penn State, their backup running back. He decides to enter the transfer portal. He doesn't want to leave the team in case Penn State wins. He knows he'll have a better opportunity. But because the portal is open right now, he has to essentially leave to go to a new team. Now, Penn State goes on a run, their defense keeps playing the way they are, and their offense can start keeping up a little bit, they have a real shot to win the national championship. But so, like, the transfer portal is in a weird spot, and then these bowl games are also in a real spot. Like, you look at a lot of these games are multiple transfers, multiple opt-outs, multiple guys not going and playing. I think the only two teams that have said they're playing was Colorado and BYU. Deion Sanders hits a press conference. He goes, "We don't do opt-outs."
Yeah, everybody.
You have a Heisman Trophy winner and potentially a top 5 quarterback playing in that game, but not every college game is going. So when you look at some of the bowl games we're gonna talk about, it's like it's so hard to gauge an opinion on these things because, like Michigan, for instance, your 3 best players aren't playing. You've had multiple transfers. Alabama's had 13 transfers out of there. So, like, we need to find a way to either, I think this is what I would do. And it's going to make some college football fans mad because you're going to get rid of some massive bowl games. But I think you do away with the bowls. I think the bowls are now a dying feature where there's something about sunset in Pasadena, California during the Rose Bowl. As the sun is going down over the horizon of those mountains and you pan over and you see a sea of one color and then half the other color. That is beautiful. That is the college football that we all grew up knowing. But that is kind of dying. I think you need to expand this playoff to, I don't know how many teams. I'm not a bracketeer. I don't know those things. But, like, get the playoffs with a big number and right after championship week, go into the playoffs. And scratch these ReliaQuest, these Cheez-It Bowls. Like, if they want to sponsor it, and play home fields, play buys. You get SMU, they play somebody at home, and then they have to go up north, and they have to go out west. Like, this is the college football is turning into the NFL, and the best way to do that is to match it the way the NFL is doing it, because you see what happens during playoff season. Those games were terrible. We watched this weekend. Mm-hmm. Notre Dame smacked Indiana. Penn State's defense, SMU threw 2 pick sixes and a pick in the end zone. Tennessee got fucking dog walked against a pissed off Ohio State team, which I was totally wrong about that. And then finally was Clemson, Texas. Yeah. That game was competitive for the first series when Clemson scored.
Well, Clemson was coming back.
Yeah.
Was coming back.
Clemson was in it. Clemson was coming back.
We know Texas let teams come
yeah.
back, but it wasn't a close game.
It wasn't close.
It was closer than outside the first series.
It was the most competitive game of all 4 of those games.
Yeah, early. Yeah.
But I love the idea of, I loved watching a SEC team travel up north and play a team in Columbus, Ohio. I loved watching SMU having to travel to Penn State during a whiteout.
Yeah.
I think we should get away from the bowl situation where it's like we have the historical Rose Bowl and historical games, and let's buy into your team is going to see what this team's traditions are all about when you step into their building. Now it's a whole different ballgame, and that excites me a little bit more about college football.
Sure.
But it's tough.
Going back to your very first thing with what Herb Street was saying.
Yeah,
You were talking about most deserving
and
best teams. Are you saying like the criteria should change? Because then you went into the NIL and Porter, and then let's do away with bowl games.
Right. So I think what Kirk was alluding to was if you have the teams with the best records, it's like, okay, Indiana, they were 11-1. The teams they beat, the one team they played that was ranked was Ohio State, and that game was not competitive at all. Then you look at, JP's sitting right in front of me, you look at a South Carolina team who gets hot at the end of the year. They win their last 6 games. They take Alabama down the wire, who's been, has dominated the college football landscape forever. They lose to LSU by 1 play. And the only bad loss they really have was Ole Miss. Mm-hmm. You look at a team like that who's maybe a little bit more deserving. They're hot at the right time. They're doing what they're supposed to do, but they have 3 losses. It's like, how do we get maybe these teams that deserve to be in, these teams that are the best should be playing against the best, as opposed to, well, this team had the best record, so they should get in, and don't look at necessarily who they played.
Well, we used to do that. I think it's changed over the years because people like, how does an undefeated team not make it to the playoffs? So I think that's what that criteria is.
Who was undefeated that didn't make the playoffs?
I'm talking about years prior.
UCF.
Years.
Oh, yeah. I thought he was referring to this
UCF
year.
a couple years ago, they got their own banner. They said national champs.
But it's like, how far do you expand it? Like, I don't necessarily hate the bowl game scenario. I think you just got to move the portal until after the season. Because teams will still get to participate in a postseason game where you're able to develop younger cats more and everything else. Because the portal, with the portal being open right now, it makes all these bowl games, like as far as like gambling goes and picking these games, very hard because you don't know who's playing.
Right.
True.
But I don't, we're kind of a victim of the criteria. It's like, how do you know who's the most deserving and who the best teams are? Because how do you argue an Indiana team or an SMU, especially with Tennessee getting whipped?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like, how do you expand it and make it better? Because at the end of the day, you see which teams, like if you look at the NFL, the teams who have now, obviously the Chiefs wiped that away, but when you guys beat the Ravens in, what was that, 2019, but any team who has a bye week, you always wonder when they're in the playoffs, did having a bye week hurt them, like having that much more time off? These 17 to 22-year-old kids are getting like a month off to prepare for these games. And you see which teams handled the urgency, handled the focus better, because I'm sitting there watching, I was texting with Jack about it too. I'm sitting there watching the Tennessee game, and I'm thinking in my head, I wonder how many of these kids actually give a fuck that they're losing right now because the portal's open, because of the NIL and everything else. To me, you just see the teams that handled their business for those 4 weeks and kept that focus going on. Because you're sitting there, you're looking at Oregon, Arizona State, Boise State, and Georgia, where it's like, hey, it could be a benefit that these teams got to play in the first round because they're not having so much extra time off. Like by the time these teams play who had the bye week, it's going to be what, 5 weeks? 5-6 weeks?
Yeah.
Like it's somewhere like they're going to have a lot of time and handling, again, we talk about just having one bye week with the NFL playoffs.
Yeah.
These kids are having all that time. Like keeping that focus is going to be hard.
There's always a double-edged
like I feel like
sword.
the product, it's not like these games might be closer. Like you look at like Ole Miss, Alabama, South Carolina, who could have deservingly been in the playoff and made it a lot more spicier.
Yeah.
But it's very hard to kind of dictate. The one thing I do think needs to change is you just take it, the 1 through 12 teams. The top 4, it would have been Texas, it would have been
Texas, Oregon,
Penn State. Notre Dame. And they just have their bye weeks, and then the rest, you're having more. Yeah, you're having more of those teams duke it out.
I like expanding it, whether it's 4 more teams, and I like starting it. And I haven't put a whole lot of thought in this because we're 2 days since like the first playoffs have been played.
Yeah,
but it seems like they really didn't have it all figured out or put together. Because if you go on the other side of like, hey, having the most deserving teams in, it's like, how are you calculating all that, and then the snubs get even bigger. I think you make it a little bit bigger. As soon as the championship weekend is over, that next week is the first round of the playoffs. You're playing the next week, and those first teams have their bye, and so on and so forth. So you're playing all through December, and you're finishing the season in the middle of January like it is right now.
But what about the smaller schools like this WAC conference and all them other conferences. They don't
Buddy.
get a bowl. Like, they don't get a chance.
Go ahead. Yeah, we can keep bowl games for them.
Yeah, that's what I'm
That's
saying.
right, keep them
Okay,
in
yeah,
it.
I like
Yeah,
that. That's what I'm
you-
saying.
you
Give
guys
them.
are-
You got to give them
Go ahead.
something.
Yep, Cheez-It
to-
Bowl, Pinstripe
yeah,
Bowl, whatever you
yeah,
guys
give
want.
them
Go ahead.
that,
You
yeah.
can have that.
I like that idea.
But
But
I love the idea of the playoffs being played at the college stadiums, that the teams who deserve it.
True. I like
Because
that.
you're-
For sure,
if
you
you're
see the way
Oregon-
these teams showed out.
If you're
Yeah.
Oregon, like you're
outside
traveling.
of Ohio State.
If you're
Yeah,
ASU, you're traveling. It's like, yo, you want that home game. You want that home
do.
game feel. You want to feel like Ohio State or Penn State,
Hell yeah.
where you're like, yeah, come into our fucking house and see what happens.
Yeah.
Because this morning I was talking to a couple of Tennessee fans, and they're like, Ohio State is the worst fan base I've ever been around.
Yeah, when
And a part of me
nobody's
is like,
there.
yeah, I fucking hate Ohio State. But also, it's like, now you Southern people know, hey, Big Ten goes fucking hard. And you,
Yeah, it was all
Tennessee
orange.
did.
Tennessee
It
did take
was
over,
orange.
but
I mean, they fans
It
why
ain't
they took
happening
over,
in
but
Nebraska.
in the game,
Yeah.
they got
That ain't happening.
Can you imagine a playoff game in
Big Red
Nebraska?
Country.
middle of December,
Yeah, it'd be nuts.
be
Nuts.
nuts.
It'd be
It would go
nuts.
crazy.
They ain't got shit going right now.
I like the idea. I like the idea of having all the playoff games played at home stadiums,
Yeah,
and then obviously have the
maybe
national
expand it.
championship at the Rose Bowl. Have it at the
Expand it
Rose
maybe
Bowl.
16.
Have it at a prestigious, like old
It may
school
come.
BCS game.
may
That's just
come.
my thought. That's just
If
that's
you
just what I
expand
think.
to 16, like those teams won't be getting a bye week. They'll be playing home field advantage.
Yeah,
next
like
week.
you said, yeah, I like that. That may
fuck with that?
happen.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because you would like to see, South Carolina was hot at the end of the year.
They was hot.
You can see if Bama, Bama's was on the outside screaming about it
Yeah.
too. You can see if Bama takes care of it. You can see
Right.
Ole Miss, Lane Kiffin's out there tweeting every game.
Yeah.
Except for
Yeah.
that Tennessee one, that's when he got a little quiet.
So it all came together for him. If Tennessee would have just done anything. But we're live
Hey,
Quest
trophy
Bowl.
game.
Trophy game of the week. We're live
Let's
Quest Bowl.
go ahead and talk about it. Alabama favored -11 versus Michigan. Over/unders 43.
Yeah.
Half the teams are opted out. Portals going
Yep.
to the draft.
Alabama's got 13 players in the portal. Colston Loveland, Mason Graham, Will Johnson for University of Michigan not playing. They declared for the NFL draft. I think the big game changer in this game is Jalen Milroe deciding to play. I think when you see Illinois quarterback, who we'll talk about in a little bit, he does a good job kind of being a dual threat quarterback a little bit, but it's nothing compared to Jalen Milroe. Jalen Milroe's got incredible numbers. I think this is a game where you look at Alabama and you're like, yeah, like they'll probably handle business here. I'll take Michigan plus 11, but Michigan seems like they're focused on 2025.
Yeah.
It seems like they're like, we got our quarterback. They're working hard in the transfer portal. They know where they lacked last year coming off the national championship win is we didn't get guys in that we had to get in to replace the holes of losing 18 guys to the NFL draft. So I think the huge focus is really on let's get the players in so we can make a big run, an actual run at a possible playoff spot, a Big Ten championship next year, and kind of get back to what we were doing a couple years ago. So I don't like it. I don't think a lot of Michigan fans like it. I'll take Michigan plus 11 though, because that's where my heart lies.
Yeah, I don't like the Big Ten in these matchups this week.
Yeah, I don't either.
I like Bama -11. I think Jalen Milroe, he's the X factor. I also think Alabama has more depth than Michigan does.
Yep.
So I'm going
Even
to
though
go.
half their depth left, like they have 13 players going. It's just crazy. Your
But-
backup
but-
running back, who's a stud.
But we don't know if they were
Ohio
like
State and
the
Michigan are
key
fighting over it right
guys.
now.
I think there's guys that, like you said, backups.
I'm going Bama -11.
I'm taking Bama too. I mean, come on.
Yeah, it's probably the right move. It is. It's like even when I talk to Michigan fans, they're like, "Who fucking cares?"
Yeah, you got
Like, we're-
Davis.
we're
You guys
so-
beat Ohio State.
We beat Ohio State.
Yeah.
That was essentially our Super Bowl this year.
That was it.
We did it. It's like,
Yeah.
let's get to next season, see what Sharon Moore is all about. Get this Bryce Underwood cat in here. Get these other cats from the transfer portal and try to make a real run for real. Imagine if Michigan could turn back on throwing. That'd be crazy. That'd be cool, huh?
Yeah, I got Davis Warren quarterback in this week, right?
Yeah, 6 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Let's move on.
Another Big Ten SEC matchup going into Tier Talk. The Tier 1 game of the week, the Cheez-It Citrus Bowl. South Carolina's favored -9.5 against Illinois, and the over-under on that game's 48. I'll go ahead and start. I think it's South Carolina. I think South Carolina, all the teams that'll have portal moves and thinking about next year and everything else, I don't think that's South Carolina. I think that what Beamer has built culture-wise there, I think they very much want to beat the brakes off Illinois and prove even more that they should have been in the playoff and stay hot. Like, again, they have a lot of guys opting into play, right, JP?
Yep.
I think South Carolina, they got the defensive front to just be disruptive in the backfield. Sellers is going to be a stud next year. Like, they got a lot of weapons
Yeah.
that I just don't think Illinois can keep up with. So I'm going the Gamecocks -9.5.
Taking them too. I feel like South Carolina got something to prove again. That's why he said those guys is playing. They want to go out there and end on a great note. I think South Carolina beats Illinois.
I'll tell you what, Illinois, 9-3 this year, only
hear you.
8th time in program history. Bit of a historic season for the Fighting Illini.
I mean, Illinois is tough. I just don't think they have. The cats to keep up with South Carolina.
Brett Bielema breeds a tough, hard-nosed football team. You know all about that.
Yeah,
you know about that. Luke Altmaier, great with the RPOs, can get the ball out of his hands quick. He's got a little razzle-dazzle in his footsteps when he gets a little east and west. Guy looks kind of good.
I mean, maybe they make it interesting.
Maybe they make it interesting. Give me South Carolina covering this one big time. I think Sellers is going to dominate. I think.
I'm like, wait.
I think it's really this is a South Carolina, the culture that they are breeding over there. That's a team that's pissed off about not being in the playoff.
Yeah.
That's a team that wants to make a statement. They're not going to take the soft way out that Florida State ended up taking last year.
Last year.
Last year, Florida State had a huge opportunity to really punch Georgia in the nose and say, hey, we should have been in there. We went undefeated. Who cares if our quarterback got hurt? South Carolina, their quarterback's healthy. Their running back, Rocket, if he does play. Their young defensive line.
He's not playing.
He's not playing?
He not playing?
Rocket and Kyle Kennard are out, but those are the only two.
You see where my hand's at right here. I have to go back to this one. Defensive line, studs. They fly around the ball. They took Oklahoma. They stuffed them down. They put their face in the pillow. They told them what's what. I expect them to do the same with Illinois. It's going to be a tough bowl season for the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Yeah. JP, you have anything to add?
No, mainly I just think it's going to be the best non-playoff bowl game because I think Illinois is bought into having a 10-win season. South Carolina's bought into having a 10-win season. And ultimately, I think Will's right. Like, we have more guys than them. And our buy-in, of course, I'm more in our world. It doesn't really seem like Illinois has any fans on the internet because I never see them. I never run into
Champagne's a tough place to get behind.
You can't wake them up. Huh?
Yeah.
Can't wake them up. They still got that dial up.
Yeah. But I see our guy, Demetrius Knight. He's our linebacker. He's like a 5th, 6th-year guy. He came from Georgia Tech, but he's got 2 kids. And they asked him, like, why are you opting into the bowl game? Like, you're probably going to be a day 2 or 3 draft guy. He's like, man, I got kids. I don't want them to be able to pull something in my life and say, like, well, you didn't finish what you started back in college, so why do we have to do it? He was like, that's not the message I'm sending. I'm like, that's who I want leading my team.
I like that.
That's a message, too, like South Carolina. They seem to be one of the teams with all the external noise that goes on with the portal and NIL and who should be here, who should be there. Like, I feel like Beamer's got them focused on finishing the mission. And, again, a 10-win season is something to very much be excited about, catapulting you into next year.
JP, I agree with most of the things you said. I think when it comes to the best bowl game, that's on the list, but it's not this game. But we'll get to it in a second.
Okay, all right. Is it the next one?
Nope.
Is it Iowa, Missouri? Missouri favored by 3 in the Trans Perfect Music City Bowl right here in Nashville, Tennessee. I mean,
the answer to that is no. Will. It is no.
Definitely not.
This game is going to be brutal to watch.
It's going to be
It's going to be. You think about Iowa football.
It's going to be.
You think about Iowa football. You think about a strong defense. You think about a strong, hard-nosed running game. Running backs that get downhill, north and south, mid zones. Yeah. Quarterbacks.
A team that
not
can win,
throwing the ball.
A team
ever.
that can win with only 5 first downs in a game.
That's it. Now Iowa's running back. 2nd in the nation in rushing.
Yeah, white boy.
He's got 1,537. Nope, not a white boy. 1,537 yards rushing. About 21 TDs, only behind Ashton Genty. Stud, right? You feel pretty good about them against Missouri? You would if he was playing, but he's not.
Yeah,
he's opted out. Missouri's got 3 players that also opted out. Luther Burden, he's their best wide receiver. He's a stud. Their right tackle, he also opted out. And then Brett Norfleet, poor guy, he got a little surgery. He won't be able to play in the game. They got a bunch of guys just running to the portal right now. Iowa, you know what? Shout out to Iowa. They've really turned around their program when it comes from an offensive standpoint. They're scoring 24.9 points a game, but that's also behind the running back that's not playing in this game. It's just transfer portal. It's wild. Missouri's got 11 guys in the transfer portal. It's wild. The only thing that tells me Missouri in this game, Brady Cook. He's playing the game. He had high expectations going into the season. He got hindered with ankle and wrist injuries throughout the season. Now, when we talk about having long breaks, that's the type of guy that needs a long break. He gets it. He gets healthy. And I suppose Missouri's going to win this one. That's how I feel. That's my confidence. I suppose. Yeah. But it's really like, when you lose your best player at Iowa, who is really your team, you run the ball. I can't remember what his name is. I know I wrote it down somewhere. but Iowa's quarterback's coming back. He got hurt. He had a bad time. He got hurt against UCLA. Fun fact, he threw for 344 yards the entire season, 2 touchdowns and 1 interception. Nothing to get excited about there. But he's back. We're excited about that. Missouri.
Yeah, I think Mizzou.
I'm going Mizzou. This is going to be an ugly-ass
I just think
game.
Mizzou.
All these opt-outs. It's going to be ugly. I'm taking Mizzou to win this game as well.
Tier 3, the Alamo Bowl. The Valero Alamo Bowl. BYU versus Colorado. Colorado favored by -5.5. The over/under is 54.5.
Yeah.
Who
you
knows?
want to take this?
I mean, fuck. I don't know, bro. I think Colorado.
This to me is the best bowl game. This is the best bowl game. I alluded to it earlier. Deion Sanders sits in a press conference and says, we don't do opt-outs here. It's easy for some bullshit-ass school to say, hey, we don't do opt-outs, but this team has a top 5 quarterback, a top 5 pick at quarterback,
Yeah.
and the Heisman Trophy winner who is
The internet's
one of the
coming
most
after him
prolific,
right now.
coming after him.
Coming after him with his chick.
This is a very unique inter-conference bowl game. Very rarely do you have 2 teams from the same conference playing. BYU and Colorado are both teams that they believe should have been playing for the Big 12 championship. They both had opportunities to get in the Big 12 championship, and they both shit down their leg, unfortunately, and for that reason, they ended up in this bowl game. Both teams, you look at their injury report, both teams look pretty healthy. Not a lot of transfer portal guys. Both of them were sneaking in that top 15, top 25 category. Both teams want to make a statement in the Big 12. They see what ASU did. They were ranked to be bottom of the barrel in the Big 12, and they found themselves in a bye week going into the college football playoffs with a chance to win the national championship. The Big 12, they got themselves a good bowl game here. I'm excited about this one. This is going to be a fun one to watch because you get to see kind of the history of what's going to happen. Does Deion Sanders stay? Does he go? I think Deion's going to stay for a couple of years. But if you're a Big 12 fan, you're going to enjoy this game. I'm going to take Colorado. I think if you're going to have your players play in the game, they're going to opt in. You're going to opt in and you're going to have full buy-in. Because once you're being told you're going to play in the game, which seems like that's what Deion does as a head coach, your first thought is, fuck, I really don't want to play in this game. I'd rather get ready for the NFL. Then your next thought is, I got to put good tape out here because I am a top 5 pick. I am a Heisman Trophy winner. I need to make sure people see me still ball out. And this is against a Big 12 opponent, so I expect them to come out firing. Give me Colorado in this one.
Yeah, I like Colorado too. I think this may be Deion last season at Colorado. That's just me talking. You know,
I think he's staying.
After his sons are gone.
I think he stays.
I think he stays too, but Cowboys.
You think he goes to an NFL job?
I
could.
think he stays at Colorado.
No, I'm taking Colorado. I don't know if he's going to stay. I just think that his opportunity there is he did what he wanted to do. Now he can move on to bigger and better things. I mean, he is in the Big 12. Reading this, it says that he's still affiliated with the Mountain Bowl. Is that true?
Alamo Bowl?
No, I'm talking about they saying that they're members of the Pac-12, but they still.
Yeah, from the previous year, they were in the Pac-12, and BYU the previous year was in the Big 12. And so the contract with the Alamo Bowl was contracted through this year of a Pac-12 team playing a Big 12 team. And so that's how it worked out that Colorado and BYU could play with each other.
Yeah.
So that's why you're finding 2 Big 12 teams playing.
Because
fine print.
Yeah.
Fine
the
print.
Interconference Bowl. I like Colorado. I just like a pissed off Travis Hunter. I'm going to tune into that game just to watch fireworks.
Why would he be pissed off?
People are shitting on
What are
him.
you talking about? The
People are shitting on him, shitting on his girl.
It's just about his
Instagram.
It's just about his girl. It ain't about him being a shitty football player. It's about his
No,
girl.
I know, but he's
saying,
excited to go out there and just show out. Like just have some random chip on his shoulder to go out there for a bowl game.
The best ones always do.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't use my girl as as a chip if I would have lost a Heisman or something like that, maybe. But his girl being who she is, I feel like that plays more part in his head because now I feel like people gonna be holding signs up like with his chick twerking on.
You think
on
the Mormons are
music
going to go out
video.
there saying with nasty signs?
Mormons
good, bro. They're
Mormons are brutal.
Mormons are, every Mormon I've ever been around, the nicest people. All that pent up testosterone.
What kind of Mormon you was around?
Well, there was one kid who went to BYU. He was like a 25-year-old rookie when that was not a
That's
normal
a
thing.
thing.
Now it's a normal thing.
That's a thing.
There was I knew a couple people in high school that were Mormon. Super nice. Great.
Was
I actually did a fake handshake with one of them one time The Mormons have a thing where like they have temples and levels.
Yeah.
And the higher level you get, that you learn a handshake. And I found out about one of those handshakes, and I did it. That's the only time I saw that Mormon mad. Didn't go well for me.
I have a question for Delanie. Does it change his pick at all, knowing that BYU's quarterback is the only Jewish quarterback in college football?
Wow.
Jake Retzlaff.
And he going to a Mormon school?
Yeah.
You riding?
No.
Doesn't know
You
what
say-
Hanukkah
you say-
is.
you
Doesn't
say
support
this
his
is
Jewish
the,
brothers.
You say this is the best game on the slate. It's not even the best game of the day. 11 a.m. Pinstripe Bowl. Boston College, Nebraska. Nebraska favored by 3. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that spread.
I bet that game the minute the odds came out, and I sent it to you. I said, "Go Big Red." I am fired up at that game.
You made it to a
I'm
bowl?
hoping
we
that
made
game
it
is
to a
not
bowl.
competitive.
That's
I'm
crazy.
hoping. Like, I don't like Bill O'Brien. I love Nebraska for you and the hospitality they give us. I love Matt Rule. I love Dylan. Like, those guys, that's a good, solid ball club. And for them to go and put Bill O'Brien in this place, that's just extra. That's a cherry on top for me.
yeah.
Cannot afford a loss.
Hey, we cannot
If you
afford
lose the
a loss.
Pinstripe
We
Bowl, we
won't.
got to talk.
We won't. We're
Y'all,
gonna handle
I know
Boston.
y'all
Man,
had
here
one
he
of
goes
the
again,
biggest
JP.
recruit class last
Here he goes
year.
again.
Not
We
this
won't.
year.
All right.
This year ain't gonna be. Y'all ain't gonna have the best.
No, I just.
What's the all right then?
But just.
I don't understand. If you think Nebraska's going to win, you're
I think you're gonna
here he
win.
goes. All right, we'll see what happens. What does that mean?
It just means,
I
bro, when
love
you sit
Nebraska.
there.
I love this.
I
Here
do.
goes
I think
Will.
Nebraska's
All right,
going to
we'll see
win.
what happens.
But when I think Nebraska's going to win. I want Nebraska to win. I betted Nebraska to win. I want it for me. I want it for your family's mental health. I want it for Nebraska in general. But when you go, oh, we will. I just think, all right, fucking kiss of death. I watch the Chiefs every single year win the Super Bowl on the back of your all rights.
Yeah, I'm just saying. You're saying all right, like, okay, does that mean they're going to lose?
No,
So if
I
I'm
just
like, don't worry, we'll handle it, you're going to be like, yeah.
No, because
You
he
guys
like
definitely
you
You know,
spitting on it,
Yeah.
and you spitting on it.
just fucking.
And he like you spitting on it though, and it's
Dude, let's talk about our ballsy pick. The Ballsy College Pick of the Week is sponsored by Fireball. Fireball is a perfect shot for game day, whether buying those sneaky little shooters before going to the stadium or going big with a Fireball keg for your tailgate. Whether it's a pregame shot in a tailgate lot or celebratory touchdown shot at the bar, no matter what, it's guaranteed to ignite your game day. Let's get ballsy, boys.
What ballsy college game you come up with?
Very conservative 3-leg parlay.
Very conservative.
Very
Yeah, let's
conservative.
do conservative.
We're talking plus 142 odds here, but this is my Fireballsy
That's
parlay.
very conservative.
This is my
Plus what?
Fireballsy plus 142. You're gonna go Nebraska money line, Alabama money line, and South Carolina money line.
I'm with it.
Plus 142.
I'm with it.
Out of respect for Blue, I'm going to stay away.
It's a good money maker.
Listen, I don't see that.
I understand.
I'm just going to stay away.
and you took
It'll probably hit.
And you took Michigan, so it is what it is.
I'll take Michigan plus 11.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The cover.
Trust me.
The cover.
I did the whole plus 21 money line against 21 odds. Worked out.
Yeah.
But does lightning strike twice? I don't think so. I will say this about Alabama and Michigan. The winged helmet strikes fear into Alabama. So they could shit down their leg. They saw what they did the
Possibly,
Rose
yeah.
Bowl.
What? The what?
Go ahead, G. What you got?
Helmet,
Oh, right,
Michigan helmet.
Other than the
might make-
playoff game, the last time Michigan and Alabama played in this exact bowl game, it didn't end well.
I guess you're only as good as your last meeting, right?
Who lost?
For sure.
Who lost?
Michigan got dog walked.
Oh, really?
Put on a leash. Walked around the block a little
Oh, okay.
bit.
All right.
All right, let's hit our fan call-in parlay this week. Big shout out to the winner, Call of Fame, the boy Matt. He won
Matt
last
Nolan.
week. We got the fan call-in this week presented by True Classic. Taylor, go ahead, stand up, show off your True Classic gear. I got a True Classic t-shirt. Delanie rocking it too. Taylor's got the jeans on. You hit a 315 squat today. Show him that ass. The True Classic team is sending out codes to hook you up with True Classic. So be sure to give them a shout out in our comments here and on our socials using hashtag True Classic Caller for a chance to win. Upgrade your wardrobe and save on True Classic at trueclassic.com. Let's tune into this fan call and parlay.
What's up, Bussin' Boys? It's Reed. Happy holidays. Let's go for a walk. Look, fellas, we got to give these people a holiday parlay on DraftKings, right? First leg, Derrick Henry anytime touchdown. Christmas Day game. you're going to be too busy opening presents and dealing with the weird in-laws and family members to go look at the TV. All you got to do, pull up your phone, you see Derrick Henry's in the end zone, boom, on to the next leg. Thursday night, the 26th, Seahawks Bears, JSN, anytime touchdown. Look what the Bears gave up against the Lions. Look what they gave up against the Vikings. You don't think JSN's getting in the end zone? Boom. Then you get a nice little couple days of rest, recover and whatever. New Year's Day, Georgia Bulldogs money line over Notre Dame. 3 legs, Derrick Henry anytime touchdown, JSN anytime touchdown, Georgia Bulldogs money line. Happy holidays, DK Partner.
Thank you, Reed Jones. Derek, anytime touchdown. You will have to wait a couple days for Georgia Notre Dame.
Yeah.
I like the parlay.
I like the parlay.
I like the parlay.
I like it
Bit
too.
of Ted Bundy vibes from him, huh?
He's a good guy.
Yeah.
That's
he's a good
that's
guy.
your boy? Is that your boy?
Yeah.
I could tell
He got a
y'all
couple
weird,
he got a
like-
couple barrels in his house, doesn't he? Just decomposing some bodies out there.
you
Let's take a
figure-
walk. 4
you're
steps
Delanie.
later. What do you say?
I said, that's your boy? He said, yeah. I said, I could tell y'all weird alike. Like, that same vibe.
Hey, you do got some serial killer vibes. Miss Peaches.
Nice haircut, though. That's a great haircut.
Great
You got a
haircut.
Great haircut, Jared.
Your
you go,
family
Jared.
coming in town?
No, I just hated my hair.
Oh, okay.
He was growing it.
Literally
Yeah,
last
yeah.
week, he's like, I'm not shaving my head if the parlay doesn't hit.
And-
I'm growing my hair out.
and then
Shows
cut
up
it.
on Monday with this.
Yeah. Nice cut for
What
sport.
I got.
He was trying to get the Taylor Lewan, for sure.
A little flow going.
He was trying to get you a Taylor
What you
Lewan.
trying to do right here, brother? Trying to pop one of these on?
Come back in after Christmas with a mustache.
Yeah.
Boys, Merry Christmas.
Hold on.
Oh,
You gonna do that? Yeah. All right, done. Good. Boys, Merry Christmas.
Happy Hanukkah.
yeah, thanks for tuning in. Make
Shut
sure
the
you leave
fuck up.
comments and make sure you're subscribed to the show. We will see you next week. Happy holidays from the boys to you.
Big hugs, tiny kisses.